Here you see Richard Ebright, the scientist, his mother. His mother was a source of inspirations for him. She not only encouraged him but also inspired him. She provided the much needed company. She brought him books, telescope, microscopes, and camera, and some mountaineering materials. So, under her guidance and love, Ebright took many experiments. He took up the 8th grade project to find out the case of viral disease that killed the monarch caterpillar. Next year, his science fair project was testing the theory of viceroy butterfly copied monarchs. His next theory was to see whether the birds ate monarch or not. After this, he began to research that led to the discovery of unknown insect hormones. So, the questions that I want to ask you: what was the bright next steps after he collected half 25 species of butterfly? He collected almost 25 species of butterflies. As a scientist, Ebright had a great interest in collecting the butterflies since his childhood. As he was a solitary child, he was the only child that his parents were blessed with. Having no company, having no friendship, his mother was the only companion in the house. So, right from the word, he decided to collect the things. And this very habit of collecting the things taking him to the height of the world. He had collected almost 25 species of butterflies around his home. His mother, who was a great source of inspirations for him, not only for inspiration, she also encouraged him. His loving mother gifted him a book that is called The Travel of Monarch 10. The book opened the world of science to Ebright. At the end of the book, the readers were invited to help the study butterfly migratories. And the writer has invited the readers to help him. So, they were asked to tag butterflies for research. It was Dr. Frederick who invited the readers to send butterflies, to tag butterflies for the research. Dr. Frederick A. Urquhart of Toronto, full name Dr. Frederick Urquhart, Toronto University, Canada. Ebright started tagging the butterflies, as he was very much interested in he have almost collected 25 species of butterfly, so he started tagging. tagging the butterflies. But it was difficult to chase and catch the butterflies. So he himself raised a flock of butterflies. Flock of butterflies. He caught the female monarch butterfly and took its egg. He raised them in the basement of his house. Through their life cycle from egg to caterpillar to pupa to adult butterfly. Then he tagged the butterfly's wing and let them go. His basement was now a home of thousands of monarch butterflies in different stages. So, these were the steps that was taken by Richard Ebright. In his second year, Ebright began his research which led to the discovery of unknown insect hormones. Indirectly, it led to the new theory of the life. In this theory, Ebright tried to answer the question, what is the purpose of the 12 small, teeny means so small, gold spots on monarch pupa. Till now, it was thought that the spots were just ornamental, just for decorative purpose. It were just adding beauty to the monarch pupa. But Ebright proved them wrong. But it was only Dr. Urquhart Frederick Urquhart, who did not believe in theory. Ebright and his fellow students, they built a device to show, to exhibit that the gold spots that is found on monarch pupa, that they are producing hormones. This hormones was essential. The hormone that the gold spots were producing, it was not found only for decorative purpose. It is meant for producing hormones, and without this, the full development of butterfly is not possible. So, this very project won Ebright first place in the country fair. It is also won him entry into the international science engineering fair. There he won the place for geology. He also got a chance to work at the RB laboratory of the US Department of Agriculture. So, how he get the idea? Ebright got the idea for his new theory about the self life during the junior year. He got the idea when he was looking at X-ray. The photograph when he was looking at the X-ray photo of the chemical structure of the heart. And while he was going through the X-ray picture of the chemical structure of the heart, then he saw those photos, and that he got the answer. The answer of one of the most biological puzzles the cell they read the blueprint of its DNA. The DNA came to the existence. DNA, what is a DNA? It is a substance in the nucleus of the cell that controls hereditary system. DNA is the substance in the nucleus of a cell that controls hereditary. It determines the forms and the function of the cell. It determines and the forms the function of the cell. The DNA is the blueprint of life. The DNA is in fact a blueprint of life. Ebright and his roommate worked all the night for drawing pictures, making plastic models of molecules. They also wrote research paper to prove their theory. If their theory provides correct, it will be a big step towards understanding the process of life. It might also lead the new idea of preventing some type of disease. So here, Ebright's mother, the role of his mother, role of her mother is full of curiosity. Full of curiosity. She not only encouraged his interest but also provided him support. In fact, she was a devoted mother who has spent a great deal of time with young Ebright. She bought him telescopes, microscopes, cameras, mounting materials, and other equipments. She made up the company. They did the things together and found the thing to do. Not only just the physical thing, but the learning thing she also held. For his activity, she shot the right guidance at the time can be a strongest factor in success. So it was Ebright's mother who has provided a right guidance that was the strongest factor. That was the strongest factor in his success. She recognized his curiosity, gave him direction, provided him suitable environment. So here you see the role of a mother, how a mother should recognize the curiosity of the child and should give a proper direction, provide suitable environment. So it was her Ebright's mother support that proved instrumental in his contribution to the world of science. Now, there is a saying, what if the scientist Ebright used to say? Richard would say, give the extra effort. Give the extra effort. These were the words of Richard Ebright. Why? Why he requested to give extra effort? As a scientist, Ebright has all the ingredients required to be a scientist. I suppose everybody has all the ingredients to become successful. So far as Ebright is concerned, he was curious and competitive spirit. It was his curiosity. It was his competitive nature that drive him to win the right reason for the first rate. Gifted with such a great quality cannot be selectively applied. A person who is endowed with these traits, what were the traits? Curiosity, competitiveness, determination, a strong willpower, devotion. So if you are endowed with these traits, you may apply anywhere. That is what Ebright did. He approached many other activities with the same passion. Was champion debater and a public speaker. He was a good all-round outdoor person. According to Mr. Vedar, his social study teacher, Ebright put in 3 or 4 hours at night doing the debate and research. Debate and research. Look at the time that he was devoting to his study. If you want to do the best, you need to execute it. This made the scientist Ebright one of the greatest scientists in the world. Now, some more questions from the text that I want to discuss. If you have any question, you may ask, or I will discuss. Please hurry up. If you have any question, you ask me immediately. Please. What are the qualities that get into the making of scientist? Very simple question. What are the qualities? The quality are first-rated mind, curiosity to learn more and more, and then win to win for right reason. Don't win for only winning the reason. Don't win for only with the winning. Don't win for only the prize. Win for the right reason. Winning only prizes, winning only the monuments or not. You win for the right reason. So, DNA activities in your science book have read about the cell and DNA. So, you need to discuss about these things among your friends. Next, there is one other question. What was the difference between the Ebright and the winner at the science fair? For the science fair, Ebright entered the slide for the frog tissue, which he showed under the microscope. There he realized that simply a neat display is not what is required as the winner, and presented the real experiment. The other scientist has presented the real experience, a real experiment, that is working model. Model is not the right thing. If you, in any scientific fair, if you are presenting a working model, live examples, then it works. So dear children, I hope you will take some lesson from the life of Richard Ebright, how real mind he had, how he was determined, devoted, and dedicated to win. He was not winning for the winning sake, he was winning for the real sake. So don't win for the winning sake, don't win for the prize sake, don't win for any trophy sake, you win for the real sake. And if you are try to win for the real sake, then you will may become a great scientist like Richard Ebright. Now, if you have any question, you please ask.